What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Deep Dig of Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host right here next to me.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the pod, whether it be here on YouTube or an audio version. We have that on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all those good things. Just be sure to follow. It really helps out.
Yeah, guys, we are getting some subscribers, a lot of comments lately. Keep them coming. We got more content coming every week this offseason. Well, let's move on to our last topic today. Derek Carr shocked the world, signed with the New Orleans Saints after he was kind of, wined and dined and not 69 million guaranteed by the Jets. He went to the Saints kind of last second. What do you think about the decision by Derek Carr and the move from the Saints?
I think it was always going to be the Saints. I think that from the beginning, it was, okay, well, can a team beat what the Saints are going to offer me? Because he already met with them before he'd even gotten released. So I think they gave him a number, and he was going to go search out if I can get a better number. And realistically, I don't think the Jets were just ready to commit with Aaron Rodgers still on the board. So it left him okay, well, I'm going to go where they actually do want me. They are willing to commit, and that's the Saints. And I think that's a much better fit stylistically. It's a much better fit market-wise. I think it's just a better fit overall for Derek. And we've seen guys that are veterans that are not really that consistent have success there in a Andy Dalton, in a Jameis Winston. I think Derek Carr is actually much better than both of those guys, so I think he's going to have a year.
I think for the Jets, Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers are both pipe dreams. I didn't see them getting any of these guys, and that's why they were pushing so hard to recruit Derek Carr. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to either stay in Green Bay or go to Vegas. And so,
What did Derek Carr?
Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Vegas or he's going to stay in Green Bay. So who do the Jets go with now? They're going to have to run it back with Zach Wilson, probably pay Mike White some money because he's a free agent who should get some backup quarterback offers elsewhere. And, Derek Carr, he needs to be what everything the Jets said that he was in New Orleans. He needs to be a great quarterback because this team is not built. It's really in a tough position cap-wise. He helped them out by getting guaranteed money and pushing that number back. But their defense isn't put together yet. Their offense has struggled. I don't know how good they're very much reliant on Derek Carr being a good quarterback for them to be a good team, rather than being a good team that added a quarterback.
See, and the way I see it, it's kind of the opposite. He doesn't need to be a great quarterback in order to make the playoffs, especially in that division. He steps into the division as the best quarterback in the NFC South.
Yeah, true.
Who's better than him? Desmond Ridder? Nope. Sam Howell? Nope. Can't even name a Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback. So,
you mean Carolina? They don't even have a guy. Sam Howell's in Washington.
Oh yeah. Who's fucking
PJ Walker?
PJ Walker.
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah. No. Oh. What's Matt Corral? That's who it is. Matt Corral.
Sam Howell, Matt Corral, same thing.
Yeah, but he steps into the NFC South and is the best quarterback hands down. So I think just with that, and if they can play really good defense, which they've been doing over the past, couple of years, they're set. That's a playoff. That's a ticket to the playoffs right there. They just punched it. So count on it.
It's going to be interesting to see how he works with Taysom Hill. Because Taysom Hill is a great piece on any offense, I believe. And I think they need to use him more. He's such a great weapon. And does Michael Thomas stay now?
Yeah, I think he stays.
Kamara stay? Is he going to get suspended for whatever he did?
Piece of shit.
But, yeah, the offense has some pieces. They just did not look too great last year. And Michael Thomas is still a big question mark. Taysom Hill, I think, is a question mark working with Derek Carr. And now I think Jameis Winston is the next domino in the quarterback. Not the next one, but he is a key domino in this quarterback carousel because you still have Jimmy G and Aaron Rodgers. But where does Jameis Winston go?
Right.
He's going to get cut. I think there was a number post June 12th if he gets cut, they save 12 mil. If he gets cut now, it's like they save 4 mil. But there can be trades that can cut him now, whatever. But where
So
does he go?
I think that Jameis is going to be very, very tough. If I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to say like
You feel some TikToks?
you've already kind of done the Chad Henne thing because you needed someone to really mentor Pat Mahomes and like get him through what being a veteran is and things like that, right? So you've already done that. Now it's time to kind of take a flyer on a guy for very, very cheap, create that reclamation project, and then send him out into the fucking world. Or what if Pat Mahomes get hurt? Then Jameis Winston sitting there. If he can just tone, this is the one thing with Jameis. He's going to be pretty reckless with the ball, given the amount of attempts he's going to have, and that's what kind of like Andy Reid's not afraid of that. Andy Reid will let someone let it rip if you have more touchdowns than interceptions. He's going to be fine with it. So I think that kind of fits what they're doing. And you don't need another veteran guy to fucking hold Pat Mahomes' hand. Pat Mahomes instead now can turn around and be like, hey, you know what? I got you. This is how we do things in this offense. And I think that really will help build, your stock. If you're Jameis Winston, I would go there.
A couple things I'll throw out here. A couple teams. I kind of like that. I like that idea. The Lions. I think he matches their work ethic. He's always posting those workout videos. He's a little bit of a weird guy. I would love to see him and Jamal Williams together, and him just back up Goff. And who knows, Goff gets hurt. Jameis is the guy that step in and really help this young team. And I mean, say what you will about Jameis, he is a hardworking guy, and he shows a lot of passion when he's on the field and in the locker room. So I think that matches up good with Dan Campbell. And maybe that's something Dan Campbell could tap into and be like, hey, well, let's focus in on some of these mistakes and like really lock into your mental side of the game. Philadelphia, I think as a backup Jalen Hurts, if Jalen Hurts were to go down, I could see him slinging it to A.J. Brown down the field.
Yeah. He did it with Mike Evans.
And as a big fuck you to Lamar Jackson, bringing him to Baltimore. And that's a team that doesn't want to commit to Lamar for some reason. And they could be like, well, if you don't want to be here, Lamar, we got Jameis Winston for a year and we'll figure it out. So there's a couple options. I mean, even Arizona, who's Arizona's quarterback going to be? That's what I keep. Like, who's their offense coordinator and who's their quarterback next year? Because Kyler Murray's hurt.
Yeah.
So if I'm a guy who's a veteran quarterback who has no job right now, I'm calling Arizona.
And be like, hey, what's up?
Who do I need to be for the job?
Yeah.
There's no one there.
David Blau? Is David Blau still there? Because he looked decent. He looked good.
Stop it.
He did. He had that, what is it? The reverse pass or the end around pass. That was pretty good.
All right. Well, let's know. Oh, wait. Before we go, now I wanted to get into last thing here. What does Derek Carr going to the Saints do for Jimmy G's market now?
All right. So we kind of had this conversation off camera. Do you think Jimmy G gets more or less than Derek Carr now?
I think he gets less because he's a very injury prone guy. He didn't play at the end of the last season, so like you can kind of use that against him in like negotiations. Like, well, we don't know what you look like, and Derek Carr, that was his number, and we think you're a little bit less than Derek Carr.
I would say he gets more.
You think the frenzy that was supposed to be for Derek Carr now turns to Jimmy G's free agent frenzy where he's meeting with everyone, and it's kind of a hunt for – he's the last, I think, completely viable starting quarterback for next year on the market.
Yeah, and I think that Derek Carr kind of did fuck himself by not meeting with multiple teams. He just met with the Jets and the Saints. That's it. If I was Derek Carr, I would have set up camp. I would be like, you guys could find me at the combine. Like, let's go. But rather than kind of fitting that frenzy and being like, hey, like, what's up? Like, he just didn't. He just stuck to, I want either the Jets or the Saints. Like, I'm faithful. Let's do this. And I think Jimmy G doesn't give a fuck. Like, I think Jimmy will put it out there because look at, like, his agent is fine with like putting out stories and being like, hey, we've talked to this team, we've talked to that team. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans, the Jets, the even the Panthers look at him. Just he starts to sniffing around because there's only one Aaron Rodgers, and if you're not within that top crux, you're not getting a quarterback in the draft. So you're just Jimmy's looking like, well, what are you going to do? Not pay me? You're going to go with, you know what I mean? Go ahead, go with Jameis. But we've seen that he throws 30 interceptions in the fucking season.
I think this is a 3-horse race for Jimmy Garoppolo now. I think Carolina, I think Houston, and I don't think the Jets think they're in it. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to end up settling for Jimmy G.
Okay, well, again, a team that completely doesn't have a quarterback, the Bucks. What are they going to do? What are they don't have a draft pick that's going to net them a extremely good quarterback.
So they could bring back Jameis?
Yeah, I doubt it. So that kind of brings that kind of tanks that market.
It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to cover it as we go, but wide open for Jimmy Garoppolo now. I think he needs to send a big thank you basket to Derek Carr for signing this deal right now, because any team now is looking to Jimmy G as the next domino to fall.
The Commanders, there's so many teams
Sam
that
Howell, bro. Sam Howell's the guy.
Did you see after that
they were like, whoa,
that was the QB1 to start like the offseason. That doesn't mean we're rolling with this guy. This is not the starter. So I think there's more teams that are going to start to evaluate their own QB room and be like, we can't roll this out. Like, we just cannot roll out with Jets. We can't roll out Desmond Ridder again without a viable backup option. We can't roll out Sam Howell without a viable backup option.
It's just telling to me that Robert Saleh hasn't mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo once and the Jets aren't interested at all, when that's an automatic connection that he was in San Francisco and Jimmy G was there. So that's telling me,
but
maybe
also,
this part of the market.
It's not little LaFleur anymore in there.
But still, it's a guy that he was in the same building with him every day. Maybe he's not interested in Jimmy G.
The new OC has like some ideas. He's like, hey, I think I can pull Rodgers, buddy.
I don't think they're getting Rodgers, but we'll see. Let us know in the comments, where do you think Jimmy G is going to play? Go and like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be dropping new stuff every week, and we appreciate y'all listening.
Thanks, guys. Later.